Yeah, I like it, but I don't love it, no. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video we have our beauty roundup for April. I know, can you believe that April is already over? And so today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the things that I loved in April and all of the things that didn't really float my boat. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. In my monthly roundup videos, I don't talk about everything that I tried this month. I talk about the standout products. So for one reason or another, good or bad. And we're going to kick off with a makeup brush actually. And it's this one from Makeup by Mario. This is his F4 dual-ended brush. Now, it's dirty because I used it this morning. I have this real thing about dirty makeup brushes on camera. I really don't like it. I don't know why, so I will apologize that it is not pristine today because I used it this morning. But anyway, I actually picked up this brush in the very mini Sephora sale that we had here in Europe. I've kind of had it in and out of my basket for a while, and when there was such a good discount on it, I thought, well, I'm going to give it a whirl because so many people that I know absolutely love this. And it really is worth the hype. So this dual brush has two different sized applicators. So the large end of the brush, it has a uniquely sloped shape that perfectly hugs the curves of the face for effortless application and blending. And that's what I like to use for foundation. I really like the fact that it's angled. It's big, but it's not too big. It's dense, but it's not too dense. And the other end is a little bit smaller. Now, I thought that I would like to apply my blush with this because I use a lot of cream and liquid blushes. But actually, I don't love it for blush. What I do love it for is bronzer and contour. I think it's absolutely magnificent for bronzer and contour and just getting that precise application. That's a really good brush, and I can honestly see why it's so hyped up. I think we'll stick with Makeup by Mario and we'll talk about this palette, this Ethereal Eyes palette that he re-released. So it used to be limited edition. This is the original Ethereal Eyes palette, and now he has brought it back permanently, and I didn't get it the first time. So I was really excited to actually give this a go because just me and a palette. Yes. The colour story is so attractive to me because these are the colours that I would wear on a daily basis. And I do feel like you have a bit of a mix in here. So you have warm tones in here, but you also have cool tones. Now, just being honest, I prefer the cool tones in here, but there's not that many of them. I do like this palette. I think it's very, very pretty. I've got this palette on my eyes today, but the formulas are absolutely lovely. You can tell that they are quality formulas. However, I wasn't blown away by it. These shimmers for me feel like toppers. Also, there is quite a lot of kick up with some of the mattes, which not an issue as long as you are tapping off, but something that I didn't really anticipate happening. I think this is pretty, it's beautiful, but you have to take it for what it is. It's not supposed to be a super blingy palette, you know, eyeshadow that you are going to see from the hills. That's not what this is. It's very soft, pretty, angelic, and that's what you are supposed to get out of this. So I'd say that I have enjoyed this, but is it my favorite palette? No, it's not. I don't know whether I'm just preferring smaller palettes these days, so minis, quads, quints. Maybe that's what's up my alley these days. But yeah, look, I liked this, but I didn't fall in love with it. I did try a new eyeshadow quad from L'Oreal this month, and do you know what? I'm sick of this L'Oreal packaging. I hate it. I really struggle with these components, like to open them. Sometimes they're, you know, when you've got this component at the top and then you've got one at the bottom. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the mirror. Like, thank you. I really appreciate it. But it's just opening these clasps. It really is annoying. These are the Rendez-Vous Couleur eyeshadow palette, and I picked up this shade, which is Cold Platinum. Do you know what? It's actually very, very pretty, but they are nothing special. I continue to desire amazing L'Oreal eyeshadow palettes, and I was really hoping that these were going to be really, really special, really pigmented. And I do think that the formula is very nice. Do you know what? It's kind of similar to the Makeup by Mario in the fact that these are very soft. And do you know what? There's not a lot of kick up with this. There's not a lot of fallout at all. You got way more with the Makeup by Mario. But I just wasn't blown away by this colour story. I like it, but I don't love it. I would actually be open to purchasing one of the other colour stories. There's a few to choose from. But this didn't blow me away, but I didn't hate it either, if that makes sense. It's just fine. I just think, L'Oreal, you can do better than this. You can. I know you can. Maybe it's my expectations when it comes to L'Oreal. I just think that they produce such phenomenal products. But this was just okay. It was just fine. I guess we'll see when more people start to purchase these, and we'll see whether it's just a me problem. Usually is. It has been quite the month of the bronzer, hasn't it? Lots of bronzers that have been released this month and more that are due to come our way as well. So let's start with this one from the Sephora collection. So this is brand new. It is their bronzing stick. I love a good cream bronzer. Who doesn't? And I really like stick bronzers. And you know what? It's really nice. I have this in the shade Just Wanna Have Sun. And I was a little bit worried when I saw the swatches. I thought that it might pull really warm on me. It's actually gently warming, but kind of airs more on the neutral side on me. And you know, I really like how natural this looks on the skin. It just looks really soft and pretty. You know, it doesn't turn orange. It just remains looking really pretty, really simple on the skin, and I really like that about this. Now, the only thing I'll say to you is, do you really need something like this? Because if you are like me, you may already have the Maybelline Lifter Sticks, you may already have the Morphe bronzer, you may already have the Merit bronzer. I mean, we have lots of bronzers, okay, in stick form. This is beautiful, but it's not giving me anything different to what I already have. So what I'd say to you is I would highly recommend this if you're looking for an easy, natural, beautiful bronzer. But if you already have the ones that I mentioned, you don't need this. Yeah, you don't need it, but it's really, really nice. I've enjoyed it. So another bronzer I managed to get my hands on was this one from Covergirl, the Covergirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Baked Luminous Bronzer. Not available in Europe. I managed to get my hands on this and the blush. I really have grown to like the blush, but I don't love it as much as this bronzer. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product. So I got this in the shade 310 Toasted Butterscotch. I would say it has a bit of a rosy undertone to this, very, very gentle and very subtle. And it just looks so beautiful on the skin. People compare these to the Hourglass bronzers, and I can see why they are comparing them like that, because they do look very softly luminous and diffused on the skin. I would say that the Covergirl has quite a bit more pigment than the Hourglass, and I like that. These are very buildable. They are not scary. I know some people will run for the hills when they see the word luminous, but it's not that kind of luminous. It's not a highlighting luminous. It just illuminates the skin. It's really, really pretty. This has become one of my favorite powder bronzers. It's just a shame that we can't get our hands on Covergirl here. Bit unfair, really, that you get everything in the US and we get nothing. So the next bronzer I want to talk about is a bit of a funny one. And it's this one from Gucci. This is the Gucci powder bronzer. Now, not a new product. I actually got this as a gift from my husband at Christmas. I really wanted it because everybody was talking about it. And yeah, I thought this is going to be the best powder bronzer I've ever used my whole life. And I tried it and I hated it. I couldn't have disliked it anymore. I felt like it just turned orange on my skin. And so I put it in a drawer and I kind of forgot about it. I have this series where I go back into my drawers every, I don't know, month or two, and I pull out products that I'd forgotten about or that I used to love. And I pulled this out. And I'm not joking. I was so embarrassed because this is absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's what I've got on today. I don't know. My skin hasn't been in the best condition until this year, since I have started some treatment for my rosacea. And You know what? Nothing looked good on my skin, and I don't know how I'd convinced myself that it turned orange, but a few people in the comments did say that maybe it's just the shade of a foundation I had on at the time, and I think they were right. But this is so beautiful. It's so smooth. It's so blurring. It's a dream to blend out. It just looks heavenly on the skin. And so now I get it. Now I get why everybody spoke about this bronzer all the time. Now it's pricey. It's really pricey. So I think it was something like €55 or something like that. Very pricey for a bronzer, but I think, you know, when it comes to Gucci, you're not just paying for the product. You're paying for all this, you're paying for the packaging, you're paying for everything. So it's the whole deal. I'm just so sad that I left it in a drawer for so long, but that is just proof that you need to go back to makeup products that you hated and give them another go, because, hey, you might have a true gem sat in that drawer just waiting to be rediscovered, and I definitely did. Let's talk blushes, and I did want to talk about this one from Rimmel. This is the Rimmel Multitasker Blush and Brush. So you have a bronzer on one side. No, you have a blush, not a bronzer. You have a blush on one side, and on the other side you have the most pointless brush I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, it's so dense and it's kind of spiky. I mean, who is putting blush on their face with that? I don't know. So I have this in the shade Cherry On Point. And this is a very luminous blush. So do you know what? It's the prettiest colour. It really is. But it's just been really inconsistent for me. So the first couple of times that I tried this, I thought it was one of my favourite blushes. But then I try it with certain products and I felt like it would lift my foundation a little bit. It's like a blush lighter. That's how I would describe it. It doesn't look it there, does it? I know. I bet you're thinking, what's she talking about? It doesn't even look glowy, but it actually is. I don't know if that is showing up, but there's actually, it looks like gold kind of flecks in the product. The last time I wore this, I didn't like it. It was actually on camera, and I've just decided that I don't want to wear it again. Yeah, it's not my favorite formula, and I thought it was going to be like my Physicians Formula blush stick, you know, the blush and the bronzer. I thought it would be like that, but it's nowhere near as good. No. So if you like the Physicians Formula stick, stick with that. You don't need this one, I don't think. The next blush is on the higher end of the price point scale, and it's this one from Lisa Eldridge. This is the Velatura Balm Dewy Lip and Cheek Stick, and I got this in the shade Rose Madder. So it is what I'm wearing today. Yeah, I really like this blush. I did mention in my review on this that I was very disappointed with the packaging. I mean, if you were to just look at this, you wouldn't think it was an absolute luxury item, would you? And this, I mean, I feel like a broken record, honestly, but I feel like I always talk about price and value for money. And I think we're just at that stage as consumers that we just want to be getting our money's worth, whether it's how much product you're getting, whether it's the whole package. I just don't expect luxury products to turn up like this. Now, I get what people were saying, and I said it myself in my review, that I appreciate that this is great for travel. So it's not heavy, it's not going to weigh my bag down. I'm not going to worry about breaking it either. So I do appreciate all of those things, but I just think there's such a discrepancy between this and, for example, her eyeshadow palettes. You know, this is her eyeshadow palette packaging, and that is what we would expect. That is so luxe. It looks expensive because we're paying an expensive price for it. And yeah, it's just the expectation. So there just seems to be a little bit of a disconnect between some of her products. Some of them look luxury and some of them look like drugstore. Well, they do, like, just call a spade a spade. That's what it looks like. And not to mention, you do get a pretty tiny amount in this. So you only get 4.8 grams. Anyway, once you get that out of the way and that moan out of the way, I really like this product. So it is what it says on the tin. It's a very, very dewy blush. And it actually does look really nice on the lips too. definitely is that kind of multi-use product that it truly is, a multi-use product. I don't like the shade on my lips, so I don't wear it on my lips, but I do think it does work well as both. It's not just one of those claims that are not fulfilled. I like how it makes my skin look dewy and healthy, radiant, and just healthy. The only thing I'd say is it's a little on the tacky side, so it does take a while to dry down, but like my hair does still stick to it a little bit when I have my hair down. I actually really like how you can have just a sheer wash of colour of this, and I think that is the primary intention of this product, that it's just a very sheer blush. But I really like the fact that you can build it up as well. You know, the packaging might be a little bit disappointing, but the actual formula is beautiful. I did want to give you a little update on a concealer that I tried for the first time this month. This is the Kiko Milano Full Coverage Dark Circles Concealer. So I had planned to test this out thoroughly and then present it to you in a video, but it didn't arrive on time for me to test it out. So I used it for the first time on camera. And so I said I'd come back to you with my opinion on this. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. I have it in this shade 04 Peach. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't give me full coverage, I don't think. And I find that I have to kind of build it up. But I absolutely adore this. This is amazing. This feels like a high-end concealer. So it is made in Italy, like most of Kiko Milano's products. I have not wanted to touch any other concealer in my collection since I got this. So some concealers are very serumy and some are very creamy. This feels like a bit of a hybrid, a bit of a mix of both. And I can genuinely wear this all day without worrying about it creasing. It just looks so flawless all day. I'm going to say this. Concealer is that category where I hate recommending concealers. I hate it because everybody's under eyes are so different. So mine are dark, dry, wrinkly, and problematic. Somebody else might have a completely different problem to me, which of course they do. Look, we all have different under eyes. If we took everybody watching this video, put you into a room, all of our under eyes would be different. And people get really angry when you recommend a product and say it works for you and the concealer didn't work for them, and they come back and they blame you and they are angry with you. And so it makes me never want to talk about concealers and foundations, right? They are the two products that go onto your skin that people really hold you accountable for. But I cannot be held to account for people's under eyes, okay? These are the ones that work for me. It's like the Maybelline Lifter Concealer. I see people talk about how rubbish this concealer is, and it's one of my holy grails. I think this is one of the best concealers on the market. I've seen the majority of people say that this is the worst concealer they've ever used. Whereas to me, it's one of the best concealers I've ever used. So I always worry now when I recommend a product. I do have that fear that people are going to come back and say, well, it didn't work for me. Well, do you know what? Products don't work for everybody. What I'm going to say is, this is one of my all-time favorite concealers. I've been using it now for a while, and wow. Do you know what it's very much like? It's so like this Chanel Ultra Le Ton concealer. The similarities are off the scale. I think the Kiko has a slight bit more coverage, but they could be the same concealer, for real. My one major negative for this concealer is I don't feel like it lasts super well. So it definitely fades towards the end of the day, which, you know, is a normal thing to happen. But I feel like this one definitely does start to fade significantly. And I did want to say that somebody did actually comment on my initial review saying that this concealer gave them the worst eczema ever. So that's just something to bear in mind if you are thinking about getting this. But for me, it's been absolutely top tier and is now right up there with one of my all-time favorites. And so all of the complexion products and foundation type products that I've tried this month have all been different to what I would usually go for. So I'm usually inclined to choose liquid products, liquid skin tints, liquid foundations. But all of the products that I have to talk about this month are not liquid at all. So the first one is this one from the Sephora collection. This is the Best Skin Ever foundation stick. This is new. I have this in the shade 16-0. I really like this. So I think it gives a really, really good medium coverage. I think that it looks very natural on the skin. So it's not a flat matte, but it's not glowy. It's just maybe bordering on a satin finish. I think the only thing people won't like about this is it, you know, like with any foundation stick, they can feel like they sit on top of the skin a little bit for a while until they sink in. But this one is definitely a product that I didn't expect to love, but I really, really think it looks beautiful on the skin. Now, do I love it as much as the Dior? No, I don't, because that is just the pinnacle of foundation sticks for me. Foundation sticks, again, not for everybody, but if you are inclined to choose foundation sticks, if you prefer a creamy complexion, then you will really, really like this, and it really holds up beautifully throughout the day. Definitely one of my favorite foundation sticks, but not my absolute favorite. So you pretty much have to be living under a rock to not know that everybody is using complexion balms right now, okay? And there has been quite a few that have been released, and I'm pretty sure that there will be more on the way. So there was two that I reviewed this month. One is brand new from L'Oreal. This hasn't been rolled out fully yet, but I'm sure that it is on the way. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Balm. Yeah, I have to try and remember the name. Honestly, why do they have to have such long names? And then we have the It Do It All Sheer Tint Face Balm as well. So let's talk about the It Cosmetics first. This, for me, the It Cosmetics is definitely more of a skincare product, okay? Skincare is the primary function of this, and it has some pigment in there to help to even out your complexion a little bit. This feels like skincare. It looks like skincare. It's nice for the type of person that this is aimed at. So people who like a no makeup look, people who don't really like foundation, who just like to feel like they're putting on a really nice moisturizer, and that's what this is. And you know what? I like this. It serves a purpose for a certain day. It's not something that I would particularly pick up on a daily basis. I don't love the feeling of application. So it feels really kind of wet and cool, and I'm not the only person that thinks this. I actually had a viewer, Pauline, who said the exact same thing. I don't know, it's just a sensory thing, I guess. I did want to mention, because my comment section was flooded with people saying that the It Cosmetics is basically just the L'Oreal Age Perfect Balm, which has possibly been discontinued, repackaged, okay? And that L'Oreal have repackaged the L'Oreal Age Perfect and they're just charging us more. Okay, so I am not an ingredient expert at all, okay? Not at all. I'm never going to claim to be, and those comments are all absolutely valid. I have sat and I've studied the ingredient lists side by side, and they are extremely similar, okay? So many overlapping ingredients, and at an initial glance, they look identical, but they do actually have the same base ingredients, the same core ingredients. But surprisingly, when you look at the Age Perfect, it does have a few more added extras. So things like black tea ferment, fruit enzymes, and biotin, whereas the It Cosmetics is a little bit more simple. So I think that the Age Perfect is more of a traditional waxy balm, whereas this is definitely more of a traditional kind of skincare product. As I said, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just do my own research when people bring things up to me, and I would just say that from what I can see, what I've heard, what people have reported back, this doesn't feel or look the same as the original Age Perfect, but they definitely do have lots and lots of the same ingredients. So the L'Oreal, I did compare these side by side if you want to go and check out that video. So this is a traditional tinted balm. So as opposed to this, makeup is the primary function of this, okay? Makeup with skincare. So it's that traditional hybrid. So my major issue with this is the price. So €22. And we've had so many discussions over this in the comment section. I think this is really expensive. I mean, the It Cosmetics is actually more affordable overall. However, this is cheaper from the outset. Now, the one thing it does have that the It Cosmetics doesn't is fragrance. They're both alcohol free. This is made for people like me with dry skin, but I think people with dry to combo skin could easily wear this. So it's what I've got on today, and it's very glowy. It's very I'd say it's not blurring, but it's kind of smoothing. I just love how it looks and feels on my skin. So for me, the winner is the L'Oreal because it just gives me coverage. It gives me beautiful, healthy, radiance looking skin. And yeah, I just love how it just makes your skin look quite plump. And I love it. I think it's an amazing, amazing product from L'Oreal. If I had to choose and I had to recommend, I would say the L'Oreal. It just looks and feels far superior, just in my opinion. So I also tried the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint. So this arrived in Europe not long ago, and I picked up the shade 04 Warm Neutral. So I don't find Milani particularly affordable over here. They are really quite expensive, and the price does kind of put me off. Now, don't get me wrong, I have liked the Milani products that I've tried, and I really like this. I mean, I can only describe this skin tint as the most natural looking skin tint ever. And for a foundation stick type skin tint, I think it looks incredibly natural on the skin. So if you're looking for a skin tint that literally looks like your skin, this is it. It couldn't be any more skin-like, and I really appreciate that. The only thing that I don't really like about it is the longevity. I don't find that it sticks around on my face very much. It kind of wears away after around 7 to 8 hours. But if you are wondering whether to get the Sephora collection foundation stick or this, it depends on your preferences. If you like more of a foundation, you're going to go for the Sephora collection. If you want something that is weightless, that literally looks like your skin but better, but more evened out, more blurred out, then you're going to get the Milani skin tint. It's a really beautiful product, but it's pricey. There's only one mascara that I want to talk about, and it's this one from Maybelline, the Lash Sensational Sky Tubes Mascara. This was an absolute grower, and can I tell you how much it has grown in my estimation? This is wow. When it comes to mascaras, I just prefer washable mascaras, just normal mascaras. Don't like waterproof. I don't mind tubing. I use them, but I prefer just a regular mascara. So, I mean, I was excited to try this, but I wasn't, giddy. I tried this and I didn't really like it because it gave me no volume at all. And I just thought, well, this is just not that great. There's much better out there at the drugstore. And I love drugstore mascaras. They're my favorite. But I kept using it. And you know what? If there's one thing I've learned, especially recently, is that mascaras do not perform at their best when you first start using them. You really do need to warm them up. You need to get that formula exposed to a little bit of air. Sometimes they're just too wet when you first use them. And do you know what? That was definitely the case with this. If I had not persevered with this, I wouldn't have realised how absolutely insanely amazing it is. I haven't worn any other mascara since I've started using this. It is what I've got on today. I love this. Now, it's not going to give you loads of volume at all, but it's going to give you really nice length. It's going to give you, above all, hold all day. Tubing mascaras, their function is to wrap around your lashes, and they have polymers that wrap around every individual lash, and they're supposed to stay there all day. So then the next best thing to a waterproof mascara. And look, the last thing I want is for my mascara to be flaking, to be smudging, no budge. And the best thing about this is how easy it is to remove. I've never had a mascara that has been so easy to remove, and I've tried so many tubing mascaras, but this is by far the best. It's the best of the best of the best that I've tried. This is true new holy grail status, and I love it. I absolutely love this mascara. So if you've tried it first and you don't like it, persevere. As with any mascara, some of them just get better with time, and this one definitely has. Let's move on to lips, and I am a big lip liner fan, okay? And even, I'd say, in the last year, I've become an even bigger lip liner fan than I ever used to be. I love them. And so I was excited to try this one from YSL. This is the Love Nude Lip Shaper Sculpting Lip Liner. I picked it up in the shade 102. This has been a grower on me, I think. I think this is a very pigmented lip liner, and it's a very lovely long wearing lip liner, but it's not got the creaminess that I really desire in a lip liner. So look, I think we all know that with lip liners, the creamier they are, the less time they're going to last. And yeah, I think this lasts really well, so it will last through eating and drinking, but it definitely does fade faster than some of my other long wear lip liners. I like it, but sometimes I just find that it does dry down a little bit quicker than some of my others. So I have a couple of these from Dior, the Dior lip liners, and I definitely prefer those. The only good thing with YSL is that they are generally always on a discount on different sites, whereas Dior are very rarely discounted. I still prefer the Dior lip liners over these, but these are good. Yeah, they don't really excite me, but I like it. It's nice. It's nice. So I do want to talk about this from Revlon, the Photo Ready Instant Plump Serum. It's what I've got on my lips today. I've got the YSL liner on as well. I don't know what I expected with this. I have it in the shade Lip Floaties, and I just thought that it was just a regular lip serum. And you know, when products say plumping, they either mean it's going to just, you know, plump out your lip lines, no plumping effect, but it's just going to look really flattering on your lips. You won't be able to see any emphasis on your lip lines, or it's going to mean plumping. And this was that plumping. This was spicy, intense. And actually, every time I put this on, it does make my lips a bit red for a few minutes, and then it does dissipate. This definitely plumps your lips, okay? If there's one thing it does, is it plumps your lips. And do you know what? If you just take the plumping aside, I love the product. I think it is so pretty. I like to wear this. Actually, I prefer wearing it without a lip liner. Once the intensity dies down of the plumping, it's just beautiful. It's really comfortable. It's really flattering. I just love everything about it. And it doesn't feel sticky, but it feels a little tacky, I would say. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I like it so, so much. So you'll have to let me know if you tried this and whether you experienced the plumping or whether I'm just a wimp, which, you know, could actually be accurate because I am. So I did try the new highlighter from Hourglass, the Unreal Liquid Highlighter. I do have it on today. This is very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. So I have it in the shade Evoke, which is a very kind of cool toned shade. And I don't know whether it's the shade that I got or what, but it's just really, it's going to sound so silly. It's too liquidy. It's too liquidy. It kind of just melts into my skin and disappears. Now, I can go in heavier with this, but I don't really like doing that when it comes to highlighter. I expected more from Hourglass because the Hourglass liquid blushes, which are the exact same packaging, just the most phenomenal blush. I can't tell you how good they are. €43 I paid. A lot of money, but actually you do get a lot of product in here. 10 mil. How are you even ever going to use 10 mil of highlighter for real? So, I mean, look, value for money, you're getting it right here. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't find myself wanting to reach for it. So that, I guess that tells you all you need to know. Yeah, I like it, but I don't love it, no. So I just want to talk about this setting spray from Milani. This is the Milani Make It Last Moisture Boost Alcohol-Free Setting Spray. So this claims to do two things. Number one, to make your makeup last for up to 16 hours. And the second one is to give you hydration back to your skin. So it contains polyglutamic acid and glycerin, which are all amazing for dehydrated or dry skin. Now, as I like to moan about the amounts that we get, I have to moan about this. I think this cost me €22 and it's 60 ml of product. I mean, that is so, so pricey for a setting spray. You don't need a lot of this, so you just need a quick spritz on the face. And it has a really lovely mister as well, so nothing too offensive. I like this because it doesn't leave my skin looking super dewy. Now, it gives you a real natural finish to the skin. Here's the thing, if you use a setting spray, there is a chance that, unless it's a mattifying setting spray, that it is going to re-emphasize your pores a little bit. So the way I get around that is I use setting spray and then I powder. I don't really enjoy using setting sprays over powder because I feel like it affects the formulation of the powder. So this is my second to last step, and it definitely gives hydration and it definitely helps your makeup to last. It definitely helped with the longevity of my makeup, and I was out in the rain and I literally had rain in my face, and my makeup still looked good when I was at home, which is crazy to me. So yeah, it's not going to be as lock it in as a fixing spray, but it still does a really good job at helping your makeup to last for sure. So yeah, I really enjoy this. I just think it is quite pricey. So I did just want to finish off by talking about a couple of new Bioma products that I picked up and that I've been using recently. So I have had this discovery with Bioma over the last 6 months, and I absolutely love their products. Oh my gosh. So I love the Milky Toner. That's my absolute favorite. I've been gradually adding bits of Bioma to my routine. So I picked up the Bioma Barrier Repair Eye Cream, and then I picked up the Bioma Hydrating Milky Moisturizer. So out of these, I would say that my favorite is this, the Hydrating Milky Moisturizer. Now, this can be used in the morning, it can be used in the evening, and actually, I have been trying to really strip back my skincare routine, and I often do like to go to bed with a very thick and heavy moisturizer on, but sometimes I don't want that because I don't like the tackiness. On those nights, I've been using this and my skin wakes up so hydrated, even though it doesn't feel like anything on the skin. Every single time I've worn this in the evening time, my skin has looked so good the next morning. I've been really blown away. It's a bit different with this one, the Barrier Repair Eye Cream. I started by using this in the morning time, but actually I've stopped using it in the morning because it kind of remains tacky. I don't know how or why it remains tacky on the skin, but I expected it to be like all of the other Bioma products, and I expected it to just sink into the skin and dissipate, but it has a little tackiness to it. Although it does sink in eventually, it takes a good while. So I would say this is a lovely product. This is amazing. This is so good. Out of these two, this is my favorite. It's so simple, but it's so hydrating, and it's just perfect. It's perfect for people who don't like heavy moisturizers, and it can be used in the morning or in the evening. Bioma. I'm absolutely loving them. And obviously, I bought all these with my own money. And if there's any other products that you think I need to try from Bioma, let me know in the comments because I'm all over this brand. So good and so affordable. So do let me know, have you tried any of these products or do you plan on picking any up? Let me know everything down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.